Hi everybody, it's Random DC here with a brand new video game review. Today we are taking a look at Sonic Unleashed. This version of the game is for the Xbox 360. It was created by Sega, Sonic Team and Dimps. Its genre is action-adventure platformer and it was rated PG. Whenever a new Sonic the Hedgehog game appears, we have to go through the same petty bullshit all over again. The miserable, never-satisfied fucktards that make up 97% of the Sonic fandom engage in a pointless confrontation, which usually involves yelling "Griffith!" at each other, complaining the game is not 2D, not including Archie Comics characters, or continue their feeble and deluded attempts at changing the voice cast of the games because they don't like it. And probably draw some porn on the side. All it took from Sega was one screenshot to make the fanboys cry foul, leaving the rest of us mature gamers to stand around and laugh. Sonic Unleashed is the latest offering from Sega in what seems to be a way of either meeting everyone halfway or telling everyone to shut the fuck up. The game feels more like a traditional title by allowing players to run around in a side-scrolling perspective, while maintaining recent titles by using a 3D theme and style. What makes the game different from previous titles is Sonic is able to become a Werehog at the sight of a full moon. This of course has made the fanboys bitch and whine till they're blue in the face regarding this, and to them I say, at least we never have to compare Sonic Unleashed to this. The game begins at the end of a storyline involving Dr. Robotnik laughing inside a huge fleet of Star Destroyers. Why he's up there to begin with is never really explained, so for the sake of this humorous review, let's say he's up there because Simon Cowell thought his X Factor audition was pants. Naturally, Sonic arrives and engages the bloated tyrant in battle, leading to Sonic becoming Super Sonic. This is the first time Super Sonic has been seen at the beginning of a game since Sonic 3. Robotnik lures the yellow hedgehog into a very phallic-looking base, captures him and uses the emeralds to shoot-to-whoop the entire planet, causing a Final Fantasy-inspired demon called Dark Gaia to be awakened. Being caught in the blast causes Sonic to change back and morph into what is being called a Werehog. Now let's get one thing clear here. I think the Werehog and its levels are really enjoyable and well planned out. Because hey, if you can accept talking animals, hedgehogs can run at the speed of sound, foxes can fly, emeralds can make islands flow, and every female side character is after someone's cock, you should be able to accept a Werehog. Because hey, that's kind of normal compared to the other shit they've tried in the past. And believe me, I've got a list. After being excused by Robotnik, Sonic sets off on a quest to restore the planet at various Gaia temples to restore the power of the Chaos Emeralds. Like you do. Sonic meets up with a nameless little dog creature who lost his memory due to Sonic falling on him. He names the sidekick Chip, after how much he loves chocolate chip ice cream. Well, of course. The story at this point seems to abandon the previous serious approach and adopts a more comedic story, resulting in Sonic, Robotnik and Chip acting like it's a remake of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The storyline in itself features interactions with Tails, Amy and Professor Pickle. Yes, Professor Pickle. Let's not pay it any more attention. The friendship between Sonic and Chip has been well written. It's like two brothers are on a world tour. The problem in the past is Sega have tried to do story angles like this with characters like Tails, Princess Elise and Shara, but they felt really wooden and boring. Chip's rather humorous personality brightens up some of the cutscenes that drag on too long. If you don't really care what's going on, just look at Chip for a cheap laugh. The Xbox 360's version of this game uses a new system called the Hedgehog engine. The day stages remind me of what was so great about Sonic the Hedgehog, running at breakneck speed. The game handles the transitions from 2D style gameplay to 3D without a flaw. Using a system tried in both Sonic Rush and Sonic and Secret Rings, Sonic can use a boost dash which blasts him across the screen at about 300 miles per hour. The music and the environment shifts to showcase the emphasis in speed. It's really breathtaking to look at. But one area that really kills the action are these new QuickTime events. Yes, because every game needs to have these now, and habit physics. The game slows down, 3 or so buttons appear on the screen and you have to frantically press and continue the stage to avoid falling to your doom, or being told you fail. All of Sonic's current abilities can be used such as grinding and sliding, while new ones like the quick step are very useful. It's a real shame that spin dashing has been binned. The boss fights, once you know what you're doing, are a joke. All you really need to do is dodge stuff they throw at you, then boost dash them straight to hell. But it's not really much of a complaint considering watching them bounce around the screen is quite funny. Before I played the game, I've seen many reviews slam this feature. After playing the game, I can't see what they're bitching about. As someone who enjoyed games like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Phantasy Star Online and Beautiful Joe, going into a large area and beating the shit out of a group of enemies before advancing is a lot of fun. The main area of complaint is apparently the Werehog is too slow. I disagree. For stages designed like this, running at full pelt would be suicidal. You have a large selection of combos to use on enemies. You can slam them, bash them, grab them, etc, etc. Akin to Lionhead Studios' Fable, you can collect a lot of experience points to level up your hedgehogs. It's more designed for the Werehog, for there are many areas to upgrade this Hulk Hog. Once the Unleash meter is filled, you can unleash, I guess that's why that's called Sonic Unleashed, more powerful attacks. The game at times reminds me of a more open version of Crash Bandicoot, down to the style of the boss battles, which all require more strategy than run at them. The quick time events are used more constructively here, because they act like all quick time events do. Show up at the wrong moment and give you 3 seconds to press a button before you get your ass kicked. Here is where the game really suffers. Like many platforms before it, it uses the now dated Super Mario 64 template. What I mean by that is you have a large world to explore, levels are located around it, and then you have to access them via a large collection of tokens. In this case, it's either sun or moon medals. This can bring the action to a halt, for you have to constantly be looking for medals to unlock a new stage. It's old, it's generic, and I hope developers can stop it with these 64 clones in the not too distant future. And yes, I got sick of it in Mario Galaxy as well. But that complaint aside, the worlds have various human characters to interact with. In the past, they don't usually have a lot of personality, but Unleashed has several characters in a soap opera-like story that it becomes amusing hearing what they're up to next. You can purchase souvenirs and food that only inflates the world's usefulness by about 2%. It does show you various different cultures around the world, but sadly in today's teabag I pwn you noob gaming audience, no one is really going to give a shit. One of the interesting things about Unleashed is the level of fan service Sega have inputted. Things such as one of the Dark Gaia monsters resembles Buzz Bombers from Sonic 1, the Dreamcast is seen at one point, the return of the classic Eggomatic, the final stage resembling Sonic 1's Scrap Brain Zone, and the fact chili dogs are seen and proclaimed to be Sonic's fave food is a brilliant nod to all 3 American cartoons. Sonic Unleashed does have its fair share of problems. It's too short, could have had a few more levels to its name, and the Mario 64 cloning needs to stop. But, compare this to every other 3D Sonic title ever released, this is a sign of return to form, and Sega's finally brought him back, the way we all remember him.
Kittens and cucumber, sliced thinly, if you please.